Welcome, Aquarius. We are going to use the Osei Gypsy Tarot deck, and we're going to get a message for you regarding 2025. For Aquarius, regarding the year ahead. All right, so in 3, we're going to ask for the main issue for Aquarius 2025. All right, so here we go. Wow. All right, so we have the Lovers and we have Moon in Taurus now. So first of all, we have Gemini and Taurus energy here. So Aquarius, we have the idea of a very important choice. This could be one important choice, or it could be choices that you'll be making. Notice that we have 2 sixes. We have the 6 of Pentacles and Major Arcana card number 6. Over here we have the Moon in Taurus, which generally is a situation where somebody has the upper hand. There is a deprivation of some sort because of a situation that is unfair or one-sided. So a decision may have, or a choice may have to be made regarding a situation where something is very one-sided. Somebody has the upper hand. Somebody in your life may have quite a superiority complex. It may relate to a contract that is unconscionable. It's unfair. So let's ask more about the issue, and then we'll ask about the challenge, as if that isn't challenging enough. Show me more about the issue, please, Spirit, for Aquarius. Wow, the Star and the Lovers, wow. 2 Major Arcana. That's your card, by the way. So we've got Aquarius and Gemini energy here. We have the numbers 17-6. All right, so June the 17th could be an important date for some reason. The years 2006 and 2017 might be important. Finally, this reading could relate to an agreement, a contract between you and the divine, where we have the Star and the Lovers, a promise that you've made, a contract that you have with the divine. If we think of the Lovers as Adam and Eve coming together, the original creation of OM, the original material, Adam and Eve, human beings, you may be called upon to protect humanity, to resurrect, there's an idea here of resurrection with the Star. It looks like you're doing well so far. There's a suggestion here of purity and resurrection of humanity as being part of your soul contract with the divine. All right, so we're now going to look at the challenge. So we're going to look at, if we were doing, what we're going to do really is a Celtic cross here, but we're going to do it using splits. So we're going on to the second position now, and the Celtic cross would be what's challenging you or what's crossing you. All right, so we'll get as many splits as necessary for us to understand the challenge. So what is the challenge? What is crossing Aquarius in 2005? Show us what's, wow, look at this. Judgment and the Star, amazing. So this can be a calling. Another Major Arcana card. Scorpio could be challenging you, but what's challenging you is a calling from the divine. Judgment, that is the horn of the esoteric. It's an archangel. Archangel Gabriel there is blowing the horn of the esoteric. So for those of you who've been following, the world events and who've been noticing that, for example, the things that have been happening in the universe, in the sky. For example, the horns, the strange noises, the fog. What's challenging? This could be what's challenging you. Notice that the archangel is holding a caduceus here, which looks a heck of a lot like a DNA strand. This may be more of instead of a challenge, a project, your role, your calling. In terms of judgment as a challenge, what could be crossing you or challenging you is, do you allow yourself to be affected by the judgment of others? Do you listen to how the world, what mankind thinks of others, or do you follow your higher self, your inner knowing? When you look in the mirror at the end of the day, what is your guiding light in your life? Is it the judgment of what you know is true and correct? In other words, of God or Spirit or Allah or Buddha? Or are you following the judgments of man? I note that we have 2 cards of resurrection here because, of course, the star is essential in resurrection. In the judgment card, in the original card, we have, people who have passed away physically being brought back to life, being raised from their coffins. In that card as well, in the original card, there is the idea of 360 degrees and 180 degrees. There is a mirror image in the original judgment card where someone is looking back at their actions in life and they are reviewing their actions. You may recall that part of the theme behind Judgment Day is that those who were faithful to God, who've passed away, those people are raised out of their coffins, as well as some who are living, who are following God. These are 2 groups of souls who are coming together, to live in this new beautiful era. So I believe that part of what's crossing you is to answer to this call. Show me more about the challenge, please. What's crossing Aquarius? Yes, my goodness, guys, this is really, really powerful. 2 more major arcana, the Hermit, which is often God, and Judgment, 2 major arcana again. So we've got the number 9 and the number 20. September 20 could be an important date. A Virgo or a Scorpio may be relevant to your life. Your challenge may be to pass on wisdom, because the Hermit, remember, the Hermit has been through everything in life, all of the ups, all of the downs. The Hermit comes down from the mountain to share wisdom and to share knowledge. So your challenge in 2025 may be to be very discerning, to rely on the wisdom of God, to rely on the wisdom that you've gained, not just through this lifetime, but through others. Not real wisdom, not the wisdom of man, but things that you know are true, that you're remembering, wisdom that you were born with, that you are now remembering and able to pass on to others. Remember that the rod that the Hermit actually carries in the card, do you know what that used to be? That used to be the rod that you, as the Fool, that you were carrying your pack-a-sack with. So I believe that for those of you who are listening to this reading, you have gained an enormous amount of wisdom throughout your lifetime, and it's time for you to pass that wisdom on. to share your knowledge with others. The challenge also, in addition to all of the above, I think, is to remain very focused on the wisdom of God, Allah, Buddha, your higher self, whatever you like to call it. Remember that if you're turned off by the word religion, I completely understand. Even if you're turned off by the word God, I find that most Aquarius, even those who consider themselves to be atheists, or most of you still have, no matter what, you have this inner knowing, this higher self, this part of you that, whether you realize it or not, it is connecting you to the divine. You are part of the divine. So don't feel like left out of this reading if you don't have any sort of a formal definition of God, or if you've rejected it. I fully understand that. It doesn't matter a bit here, because you're still preserving some ancient, beautiful, pure knowledge here that you have gained, wisdom that you have gained. Same thing. It doesn't matter what you call it. This is the wisdom of the higher self. All right? So it looks like you've done beautifully. It's not much of a challenge here. The project or challenge is to maintain this, to preserve it, to have faith in the integrity, the reliability, the credibility of your own wisdom. So I think the next position that we're going to go to is the recent past, all right? So it's not how I normally lay out the Celtic cross, but at this point, I think it would be useful to look at the recent past. All right, and again, we're going to use as many splits as we need to get the recent past. So what we're looking at is what is relevant regarding this reading and regarding the year ahead. What in the recent past is relevant? Spirit, what in the recent past? It may take a couple of splits to get this. All right. So for many of you, we're getting some Scorpio energy again here. For many of you, Scorpionic energy is relevant. But I want you to have a look at the look on this person's face, and they're looking toward the Hermit. So this is a Knight. It's a Knight of Cups, believe it or not. Even though the sword just refers to the fact that knights are fixed. Now, so in the recent past, these could be, do you see how there's sort of a distrustful look that this Knight of Cups is having toward the Hermit? What this could relate to is that in the recent past, there may have been messages or promises, unfulfilled promises. These could be people, playing games with you in love, but there's something distrustful, something that might have come toward you in the recent past. It could be somebody who was playing a game with your heart or just challenging your wisdom. Show me more about the recent past. There's 3 coming out. The Queen of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Interesting. That's interesting. So we have Cancer, Virgo, Sun in Virgo here, and Scorpio energy. So in the recent past, we've got the idea here with the Queen of Cups. The way that I would interpret this, along with the 8 of Pentacles here, is a very concerted effort here, repetitious effort to preserve one's own cup. So what could this be? It could literally be you, in the recent past, working on focusing on preserving your cup, taking back your cup, taking care of oneself, you know, it may also be you consistently acting from making decisions over and over repeatedly from a position of unconditional love. Because remember that the Queen of Cups, the one thing that the Queen of Cups does is, I just saw 1616, by the way, which is Tower. The one thing that the Queen of Cups does is she makes, as a last bastion, you know, of when she's making a decision, the one thing that will override everything else is unconditional love. So this may have been something that you're doing repeatedly in spite of some kind of a love game over here or empty promises. It looks to me here that what's been happening in the recent past is you've only sharpened, you've been repeatedly making decisions from a place of unconditional love. You have been building up your self-worth, focusing on preserving your cup, preserving what it is that you have to give. And it could be that if you've had to deal with somebody who's constantly doling out empty promises, it's actually helped you. The way that you responded to it was in a correct way. It's only made you stronger. You've only, gained more faith in yourself, and you've stood the test. You didn't stoop down to this empty promise level here. Let's see more about the recent past. Show us more about the recent past for Aquarius. Okay, it's right here. Wow. Good Lord, talk about it. Know thyself. This is an Ace of Wands. Very powerful card in this deck, though. Know thyself. And the Magician. Beautiful. So the Magician is, after the Fool, it's the next major arcana card. It's in the top level of the Tree of Life. Know thyself. All the aces in any tarot deck are the most powerful cards of all the minor arcana. The aces on the Tree of Life are equated with Keter, with God, with the very top of the Tree of Life. This split screams, with God, all things are possible. Do you notice that there are two? Look at the caduceus here. It's like two snakes sort of combining to become one. And it's also under the arm of the Magician here. Right there. There is a palm, the idea of a palm reader, a crystal ball, tarot cards, and the idea of manifestation. By the way, the man who made this deck kind of looks like this guy. He's a really remarkable person. And he is actually a very good reader and manifester. He's not very well known. I think he likes to keep a very low profile. So in the recent past, I believe that what you've done here is you have joined with the Creator. You've realized that you can co-create. But notice your key here is this caduceus. And this comes from God. So there's some awareness that you have that you are part of the divine, because the idea of the caduceus is that when these things wrap around each other, they become one. So this is like you knowing that you are one with the divine, and because of that, you are a co-creator here. Notice how this person is very focused on something. So you've learned that something about your ability, and it's like, the magician performs magic. You've learned how to manifest. You've learned that what you put your conscious focus on, allows things to come into creation. You've mastered the art of co-creation here in the recent past. Amazing. All right, so we're going to move forward with the Celtic Cross. We're going to look at the subconscious influences. Okay, so this could be what's what's operating on the subconscious level. This may be outside influences. It may be something, but anyway, let's show me the subconscious influences for 2025. Guys, I keep going to say 2005. So for some of you, that year may be important for some reason. All right, so we've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Knight of Wands as a subconscious influence. So we've got Aries and Leo energy here. So this makes sense. I believe this has been a force that has been operating subconsciously with the Knight of Wands here and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a pure energy. It's Venus and Aries, where the Emperor and the Empress come together. It's related to the idea of giving, and a solid foundation. The Knight of Wands, this could be the influence of outside forces. So there could be something challenging here. There's an aggressive energy in the Knight of Wands, an envious energy, a territorial energy. So this could be affecting you. Show me more about the subconscious influences. These could be things, that you've had to tolerate. Show me more about the subconscious influences. Wow. Yeah. And have a look at how you respond to this. Another ace, love, thanks, and devotion. So what I think this is, what we've just seen are two things that have been operating. The Knight of Wands, I think, has been a challenging subconscious influence on you. And how you've responded to it is with this Ace of Cups energy, which is this is what the Queen of Cups had in her lap. So this is unconditional love. So again, what's in your subconscious here is the correct response. But what's been hammering away at you subconsciously, I believe, is the Knight of Wands energy, which what we saw previously. So to me, this is just more proof that your inner wisdom, I just saw 2222, by the way, your inner wisdom has been responding in the appropriate way. Now we're next going to look at what is reigning the entire reading, the overarching energy. So get ready. It could be good or it could be bad. What we're asking about is what is reigning overarching energy regarding 2025. Show us what's at the top of this reading. What is the reigning energy for 2025? Incredible. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is just unbelievable. We've got two aces here. We've got the Ace of Cups, which is love, thanks, and devotion, and the Ace of Wands. I've never seen a more powerful reading. It's also the highest that can be obtained, the reigning energy. So there's absolute, there is such an incredibly powerful message here about the year ahead. Just give me a moment. This is just incredible. So if you could think of this as an offering to you, blessings being offered, a gift, and over here is the opportunity for you to accept. So we've got love, thanks, and devotion, which is coming toward you as a gift, and know thyself which is what there's a timing to this, to accept these blessings. So all throughout 2025, this is the potential. This is where you're headed, to accept these blessings. This is just a very powerful reading. There are many blessings coming toward you in 2025. This will be obtained. Two aces appearing in a reading together is powerful enough, but two aces here appearing in the position of what's reigning, your Celtic cross, it is an incredibly powerful sign. there are new beginnings, potential blessings coming in. The multiplication here of these two aces together, it just cannot be understated how powerful this is. It truly packs a punch. All right, the next position that we're going to look at is what is coming up in the very near future. Now, don't be discouraged if this is something challenging, because it can't all be, what is coming up in the very near future. And we'll get as many as it takes to understand. All right, so we've got Mercury in Cancer and Sun in Virgo. Now, so there's an idea here of effort, of repeated effort being made by a group here. Now, this Three of Cups, Mercury in Cancer, we're not sure what kind of a group that is yet, so we're going to keep going. This could be a group of chosen ones making a repeated effort. This is a good card, Sun in Virgo. There's an idea of repetition here, and it's the golden road is being. There's a message here. Yeah, there's a group. There is a group here, and they're working on a message. We've got the Page of Wands, which is. In terms of something coming in the very near future, it's actually very good news. It can be a project, an undertaking by a group of people here, a message to a group of people. It can be that the undertaking is to bring a message to this group of people. Let's keep going. So I want to be very clear about what this is. Show me more about what's coming up in the near future. Clarify. It's coming up in the near future for Aquarius. Okay, so we've got a Knight of Diamonds, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and we have this good news. This is there's an idea here of being determined, of being committed. This is an undertaking. I believe what this is the work that you're doing. Taurus and Sagittarius energy here. Clarify what's coming up in the very near future here. It's good news. There's an idea of good news. Is it ever? Is it ever? The World and the Knight of Pentacles. This is a completion, an ascension here, and an idea of determination, a promise, a commitment. Being very determined about this ascension here. This is a new world. This is beautiful. It's also with determination. This is a promise, a commitment, stability, security, and the world is our ascension, an ending and a brand new beginning, but it's absolutely beautiful. There's Taurus energy here, Scorpio energy, Leo energy, Aquarius energy, and yes, the energy of all fixed signs here. So I believe that in the near future, what we've just seen overall is the message that it's continued work, continued determination towards this ascension, all right? A continuation to pass along good news, to see the changes that are occurring, to continue on your path and to be determined to carry out the promise here that you've made to the divine. And what is the promise? It's the promise of ascension, of endings and new beginnings, of completions and ascension. So the next position we're going to look at are your tools, all right? What are the tools, the most effective tools for Aquarius in 2025? The most effective tools. Wow. So we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Magician. Now, the Nine of Pentacles would be you standing on your own, realizing that you can stand on your own, for one thing. This Nine of Pentacles energy is, it's the privileged lady energy, or the privileged young man. It's the energy of one being able to stand on their own. And what you have here it's everything that you need. It's becoming self-reliant here. But notice what you're doing to maintain this self-reliance: co-creating, manifesting, using the skills that you have as the magician, as your focus on using the part of you that is connected to the divine, your higher self, to focus on on this beautiful. The person in the Nine of Pentacles is, she has a bird that is hunting for her, a falcon that hunts for her. She lives off the land. She has all of what she has, or what he has, they have created on their own, and they will never lose it. So this can be your trust in your ability to manifest, to keep you afloat, to everything that you need, you can acquire through your focus, your mental focus, and your trust in your higher self or the divine. We're going to go to the outside influences now. What will be influencing? What are the outside influences that you will encounter in 2025? Well, there's just good news coming in. And here we go again with the Four of Wands, solid foundation, welcoming energy from the divine. It's also, there's romance here as well. Sphere number 4 here with the Four of Wands is related to being generous, to giving and receiving. There's this you can think of as an undertaking, a project, but there's good news coming in. And I believe what this is, the outside influences, is as a result of you being very focused. As well, I also see the Page of Wands very often as being that giant rod. It can be the golden rod of the soul, of your soul. All right? So I believe that is affecting you. The fact that your soul is very centered, all the physical part of you is connected to your soul. And that gives you this Four of Wands. This is Venus and Aries again. This is beautiful energy where it's all about romance, love, gifts being given, the energy of giving and receiving, but it's things that come to you that it's not something that you've earned. It's generosity. It's giving, not because somebody has earned it or because, they deserve it. It's showing mercy and grace to others. So this is energy that's operating on you. All right. Anything else? Anything else regarding the outside influences? Wow. The Lovers and the Four of Wands. I mean, this is just very powerful. I believe this Lovers is, the promise, the contract, how committed you are to this idea of generosity and giving and kindness. The choices that you make are based on this beautiful Four of Wands energy. It's because of your centeredness and the way that you have conducted yourself. It's incredible. The Lovers and the Four of Wands. Wow. By the way, there could be a very romantic connection coming in for you as well. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to look, the second last position are hopes and fears. So may I see the stronger energy, please? The hopes and or fears. Wow. Well, so the Queen of Swords, I don't see any fear here at all. The Queen of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Here we go with this Know Thyself again. The Queen of Swords asks for clarity and justice and truth. And notice how she has that sword raised straight up. She knows herself. I believe the hope here is that the people, not just that The idea that you will maintain your knowing of who you are, know thyself, to thine own self be true. But in terms of the Queen of Swords, that's you expecting it from others. Your hope is for clarity, justice. The Queen of Swords is very much like the Justice card. The idea here is that I think what you're hoping, and I believe that you are correct, in maintaining your quest for truth and clarity and justice, you will be successful here. This is a gift from God. I don't see you as being fearful. The stronger energy in you is this desire for fairness, for truth, for justice, for clarity, for what's right, and the ability for you to maintain your confidence in your soul. All right, so this is incredibly powerful reading. All right, so finally we're going to ask for the outcome. So this is for 2025, and we'll take as many splits as it is for it to become clear. Spirit, what is the final outcome for 2025? So there's something, wow, this is just incredible. Here it is right here. To thine own self be true, know thyself and the world. This is the ultimate in ascension. I am just absolutely blown away with this reading. I am blown away. There are so many positive messages in this. It cannot be read in a negative way. It's not possible. We have a new world being offered to you here. It's full of, it's a gift from God. It's full of new beginnings, beautiful. Just look at the greenery around here. There's animals, minerals, vegetables, material. It's a brand new world. It's a world that has ascended. It's a completion, a total, utter completion here. Some of my favorite experts in tarot, some of their comments on the world as an outcome are recorded on the Tarot Forum, which is a historical site. It actually cannot be added to anymore. I'm going to read to you some of my favorite experts and what they say about this split. Because the world carries a positive connotation of completion and success, and it corresponds to the planet Saturn, I often think of it as the culmination of a lot of hard work. I sometimes see the world as the stepping off point for the next phase of development. Rather than thinking of it as a rebooting with the Fool, I even created a 23rd trump for myself showing a cosmic destination. Let me read you another one. If you believe in judgment, then the world is obviously heaven because it comes after. But the world is also equivalent to universe and thus eternity. And if we grasp eternity, we experience enlightenment. And thus merging with the Fool, we become Buddha, or if you prefer, Nirvana. Everything finally at long last becoming a complete unity. The world is, of course, one of the cardinal virtues, especially the sum of the first three virtues. And while some call her prudence, in English it sounds better to say Sophia. In Chinese it would be Tao, the animating power of nature. Here's another. Back to your question of world as outcome. Perhaps, somehow, you will experience nirvana, the quenching of all desire. And along with the Ace of Wands, I think you may feel synchronicity and a heightened sense of being alive. It's a card of new opportunities, harmony and perfection. You may sense that you are in the right place at the right time. A very auspicious card, I would say. World without end. Amen. You are being taken to an area where you will see new potentialities. It's just incredible. Aquarius, congratulations Let me know what you think. That was just an absolutely beautiful, powerful reading. Thank you so much for watching.